Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now, on with the show.
Welcome to Cuckoo for Who, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is...
Martha Southgate.
And...
Rob Southgate. All right, Molly, what's this episode?
Last Christmas.
Last Christmas. So this is the 2014 Doctor Who Christmas special. First one with Peter Capaldi. Because the last time the Christmas special was...
Matt Smith.
The end of Matt Smith.
Oh, last one, it did have Peter Capaldi at the end.
Yes, it did.
So
already I have failed this
second
podcast.
one with...
That's why Molly is here, not a...
Yeah.
So
If it was the two of them, it would be bad.
Very true. Why don't we talk through the episode? So I think we should actually, sometimes we do this and we talk beat by beat. Sometimes we talk about overall ideas. I think we should kind of go through beat by beat because of the big reveal that happens in this one.
Okay.
You guys agree? Okay. Well, so it starts out with Clara asleep. She's in bed, and she hears a huge crash, right?
Yes.
What was it?
Santa.
It was Santa, yes. And we see his sleigh is like crash down, and there's some elves, and I mean, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And she just seems like completely stunned. Did you catch what the reindeer were doing during this?
Yeah, they were like playing, prancing around.
Well, yeah, they were like they seemed like they were kind of flying into each other and like fighting. And it only had 3 reindeer though, which I think is kind of interesting because what are there, like 17 reindeer usually?
17, 8.
Well, there's what are their names? What are the reindeer? There's Donner, Blitzen,
What?
Comet, Cupid.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet.
He doesn't have all his fingers, so you might have trouble.
Yeah, let's do it with teeth too. We're gonna run out of teeth for me too. And then there's Sweaty and Archie and Dopey.
Fleabag.
Yeah, Fleabag. Yes. So we only see 3. We see Rudolph for
Lawn
sure, but they didn't
chair.
name the other 2. But that was funny. Lawn chair.
I don't think there's anyone named Lawn Chair.
That would be awesome.
Will
we
you
rewrite,
just get to my favorite
We
line
could
about
not
the
get-
sleigh?
In Winnie the Pooh, they said that.
I am going to jump ahead to my favorite line from the sleigh.
so
Right now.
what's your favorite line from the sleigh?
When the doctor
Is
says...
it the end? Because we've got a whole
No.
show to do before we get to
when
the
the
end.
doctor says, how do you get all the presents in your sleigh? And Santa
That's the
says,
end!
it isn't, technically. And Santa says, it's bigger on the inside.
Yes.
Best
Uh-huh.
line ever.
That was awesome. Way to spoil it.
I don't
So now
care.
we've got
I
35
spoil
minutes to vamp.
There you go.
Okay, so I actually liked a thing at the beginning here. Do you remember when, first of all, the elves are like, oh no, we've been seen. And Clara asks, are you Santa? And do you remember how he answers it?
He said, no, we're just roof people.
No, before that, he goes, no. See? And then he says, we're just roof people doing jobs on the roof here. How about the elves? Did you like the elves?
Yeah,
The ones-
one had wolf on the back.
Totally just stole my line.
Mom finally got one thing right in a Doctor Who episode, and you stole it. So he had wolf on his thing. Now I wonder about that.
No more.
Well, that's what I wonder.
wolf.
And for those of you that are Who fans, I don't know if you caught that, but the elf had wolf on his jacket. It was distinctly there more than once. Do you think that was somehow tied into Bad Wolf? Do you think there was something there? Because why did the one have one and the other one didn't have anything? Any ideas?
Maybe the one's mom was crafty.
Maybe he's like Lenny on Laverne and Shirley, and he's one wolf. Remember when he was one wolf?
Yes.
Okay, like 4 people in the audience got that joke. Who did? No. So yeah. Okay. So then, when Santa's talking to Clara, he brings up the fact that she stopped believing when she was 9.
Uh-huh.
Now, Mom and I'm 46. Mom, we're not going to disclose her age, but it's much older than me. And
It's the same age.
Yes. Thank you.
we still believe he could not say to us, "It ended at 9." Could he say it to you?
Yeah.
You're not even 9 yet.
You're not even 9.
Are you planning on it ending at 9?
Right.
I think it ended at 7.
Oh, weak.
I still believe in Santa.
I do too. So she calls Santa a fairy tale, and do you remember what he said? Because I love this, because she goes, "I grew out of fairy tales." Do you remember what he says to her?
And he said, "Are you sure?"
Yeah.
Clara?"
Did you really? And right then, who shows up?
The doctor.
The biggest.
Yeah, the biggest
fairy tale.
Yeah, but he's not a fairy
I
tale.
know. Well, therefore a
And
Santa.
therefore, ergo, Santa is not a fairy tale. Yes, I got it. So, Doctor shows up, and I thought this was interesting, too. The Doctor seems to have a little bit of an issue with Santa. Now,
Yeah.
we've seen Peter Capaldi had an issue with another...
Robin Hood.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Big issue.
He doesn't play well with others.
He does not play well with others. That is exactly right. Now, do you think, because Robin Hood turned out to be real,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that kind of blew the Doctor's mind. Do you think that this is going to be a reoccurring thing with him, that he's resistant to these characters?
Maybe.
Okay, are you just going to stare blankly at me?
Say maybe.
Seems like a legitimate theory.
Well, I think so. And I wonder if in the coming season, if we're going to see other fictitious characters that he's going to go, "You're not real." And then, wham,
Oh, like Wham, the band?
they're
No.
not fictitious. They were real. Okay.
Right over your
Yeah, right over. Okay, so he and Santa have a problem, and this was another funny line at the beginning. There are a lot of funny little things that happened at the beginning. Santa had the tangerine.
Yeah.
Now, that was funny because he's like, that's like his favorite gift to give.
I don't get tangerines.
Well, you get coal because, frankly, rotten apple.
Why wouldn't she get a rotten apple?
Yeah, you know what? I screwed up that joke.
Yeah,
but
you did.
that's okay. But I love when the doctor's like, he goes, "Well, I always give tangerines. It's my favorite." The doctor goes, "No one likes tangerines." Now, if they were cuties, yeah. Who likes cuties out there? Heck yeah, cuties for the win.
Wait, she prefers halos, so I guess she's
Okay,
very
literal girl.
So
Yes.
So if you said who likes halos, then she'd raise her hand.
I raised my hand for cuties.
Okay,
They're the
so,
same thing.
Are they, Molly? Are they?
Yes.
not the
See?
same.
They're not the same.
They're turning
thing.
on you, Molly. They're not the same.
She's turning on me.
So the intro changed, too. What was different about the intro?
It was snow and ice.
That was so cool.
When
And-
they had the letter where the words, usually they just like, the words usually just like go back. And then
Right,
they,
right,
the
but this
next word comes
time-
up. It went boom into like snowflakes.
Yes, and they also had in the swirls, you know how it's changed this year, and it's got the swirling stuff. It had snowflakes around the names. I
Yeah.
thought it was funny when they were showing the names. Molly is like,
They're
"Oh, look at the
ice."
snowflakes." And then she goes, "Yeah, and ice." And then she goes, "Oh, haha!" And they put Nick Frost. That's actually his name.
I know, I didn't.
That was pretty funny.
I didn't do that. I went like, you know what I said?
Yeah.
I really do.
Oh yeah, this changed except for that it changed and they put Nick Frost in
Oh, that they added Nick Frost.
as a character. Yes.
Ah, yeah. Well, he wasn't a character. That's his name.
I know.
Oh my gosh, this is all just taking a
I
turn.
know
Molly,
it's a guy's
Molly?
name.
Doctor Who's on first.
Huh? What does that?
See, I got a laugh from some people that got that joke.
Sense.
Itzy, I hope you laughed at that one. That was
Who's
a good
on
one.
first? What's on second?
So, okay.
I don't know who's on third. No, nothing. Doesn't ring a bell.
I want to cut to, because we could sit here and go through each little thing, but I want to cut to
Why are you allowed to cut? I
what's
wanted
important.
to cut.
Well, you cut. Here, take some notes
I
here.
can't read your writing.
Yeah, no.
Like,
So, but
Oh,
can read
wait, the
yours.
North Pole.
oh, can I cut to the North Pole?
Yeah,
Yes.
do it.
So this one girl like kind of interrogating Santa, and she says,
Shauna, right? Her name was
Shauna. Yeah.
Shauna,
Shauna.
Shona. My Sharona.
Shauna. Yeah. My Sharona. Awesome.
Shauna says, something about the North Pole, and he says,
Well, she says it's not real. That's what she said.
And Santa said,
of course it's real.
he said, I own the North Pole.
Uh-huh.
And then the one elf said, I have pictures of it. It's got.
I have a selfie of it. And
Yeah.
he shows it to her. Look at this. And she's like, why is it? She's like, why is it stripy? And he's like, it's got to be stripy.
Yeah, it's
basic physics.
basic physics. It's got to be stripy. Yeah, that was really funny. I loved the elves. I thought they were really funny.
Yeah.
You know, we watched it multiple times. I don't know. Has anyone watched it more than once? Anybody? This table has.
Izzy.
We got a couple of kids
Yeah.
who did, yeah.
Twice today for Chris. Well, it was really interesting watching the second time when you know what's happening. Because, man, they just put it all on Front Street. I mean, it was like so obvious, but the first time I didn't know what was going on at all. So I think it's really interesting how this episode played out, like the way the elves were. You know, because they're jokey and everything, and then when they kind of are, you know, fighty with the doctor, like Stripey, it was very obvious that they were part of the dream, which, spoiler, it's part of a dream. I thought that was really cool. I thought that they played it just really, really well. This was one of the best Christmas episodes, I think.
And it was actually quite scary.
It
which
was.
fun.
Yeah.
And, you know, like the whole dream thing and then the face,
Yeah.
what are they called? Those grabby things?
Here, I've got the actual name.
Dream crabs.
Yeah, the dream crabs.
I mean, like, okay, who wants crabs, but much less dream crabs?
well, we could go there if you want. They're
I believe I just did.
the Cantrophori is what he called them. At first he said those are the Cantrophori, otherwise known as the dream crabs. But the rest of the episode they called them dream crabs. But now I wonder, is this going to be a recurring baddie? We've had a few new ones. We've had the boneless. What else do we have? We had
The one in the second episode with
the
the
one
weird guy that was.
yeah, that guy. We had the one
I
with
don't know
the.
if I'm making sense or not.
No, I don't think so. We had
I
the
don't
one
think
that was
so
under the
either.
sheet that we never learned what it is. Where we're supposed to think that it was
That's what I'm
Clara
talking
grabbing the
about.
ankle only, but
Oh, that's what you were talking
yeah,
about.
but
Yeah.
what was
Yeah.
that? What was that? And then now we've got the dream crabs, that's awesome. Okay, so that was another thing about this episode. Apparently,
Or
we're not
they
going
were.
beat by beat. Another thing about this episode was the entire thing, and once you know, once again, that it's a dream, it's loaded with references. I mean, every other line there's a reference to something, and I think that it's because they were having the collective dream that they were all pulling these sci-fi elements into their dream, which is why it looked like these movies. Now, what references did you catch? Alien. Now, Molly, you haven't seen Alien, right?
I haven't.
Lil's kids have. Yeah, and they're.
And his kids are like 3.
Yeah, and. Okay, wait. What's DCF's number? Hold on. Let me. Okay. The oldest is 6, so it's okay. We're watching Saw tonight, but he's 6. So Alien, and that was the face huggers. It was the way the thing opened. Yeah. And then when the dream crab was climbing above and the drool fell down
And
on Clara,
Ghostbusters.
that was totally Alien.
And
but then
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. And that was the
Who are you
line.
going to call?
Who are you going to call?
Oh,
He
yeah.
said it.
That-
Santa said it, and then the doctor said it.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Uh-huh.
What else? I got 'em. I got some listed here.
Oh.
There was The Thing, very obviously The Thing. Now you haven't seen that either.
Can
Have you
I
seen
cut?
that one?
Can I say a funny line?
Say a funny line.
They said, somebody said, oh yeah, like the face huggers from Alien.
Yeah, the one doctor said it. They're the one scientist.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, but she's still getting to her funny line.
And then, yeah. And then the guy, and then the doctor said, like, what? And then they're like, you know, the horror movie, Alien. And he's like, there's a horror movie called Alien? No, that's offensive. No wonder everybody's invading.
Yeah.
Right. And then, so the thing they had, where they're out in the middle of the Arctic, I thought, like, when they walked outside, that was so the thing. The way the snow was coming down, the way they
I
had
thought
the
it was
one light.
X-Files.
I thought of X-Files also.
X-Files movie.
There was definitely a little X-Files action going on in there. There were a couple that were, well, they also made a Christmas Carol reference when she said, God bless us, everyone.
Yeah.
And it was definitely supposed to be an allusion to that. There was The Matrix, because they were living inside the dream and were unaware that they were in this dream, and it was like, wake up out of it. That was cool. And then we were watching it with our friends, and Finn from famous from an Input Junkie podcast, Tour de Cons podcast a year ago, he said that a segment looked like the movie The Ring. Which,
when they came through the TV
Yeah.
through the screen.
and it did, but I wrote down something for more of us older geeks. That was either Videodrome. You ever see Videodrome? I think I forget who's in that one, but it's a David Cronenberg. And there's a scene where like they're watching the TV and the whole screen goes like this, and it doesn't make that fart sound, but yeah, and it like kind of melts through. It looked exactly like it, but it did look like The Ring. And then the other one was Dreamscape. I was thinking of Dreamscape. You guys remember that movie? It was wasn't it Ultron? Wasn't he in that? Who's the guy playing Ultron? Spader. Wasn't he in Dreamscape?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Confirmation from one. I'm going with that. So, yeah. So those were, I caught all of those. Were there any that I missed? Anybody catch any? Yeah. Inception. Now, what was...
How do we tell if we're in a dream if we're not that?
Totally.
I saw that, I'm like, oh, wait.
Totally Inception. You know what? It should have had the big sound. Remember that?
Wow, that was unpleasant.
Yeah, I know it was.
Yeah.
But remember how awesome that was? That big noise and the thing is moving? They should have done that. They should always do that. Everything should do that at least once. Any other references anybody caught? Yeah. Yes! You know what? I'm glad you said that because there were a couple of points in it where I was thinking it was video game references. And I didn't think of that one, but now that you say it, now all of a sudden I'm going like, oh yeah. Because that Thing reference I said, when the Doctor and Clara came outside at the end, just before he went, there's 4 folders, okay? Just before that. That looked identical to the Thing video game. I mean, like the setup was identical. It looked more like the video game than like the movie. So I bet if you start looking at how they analyzed it or how they did this when they were making it, they probably had one of the characters be like a video game geek. Because they were all pulling from their things. I doubt it was the lady in the wheelchair. Because she was like a grandma, and I don't see her playing the Thing video game or Half-Life 2.
Maybe it was.
No offense, Mom. I don't see you playing that.
Maybe it was the youngest girl.
Could be. The youngest
she-
one that just like sat around in her own filth?
Yeah.
Shona?
Yeah. Because she had the checklist, so it could decide to do that on it.
Yeah. She didn't have video games on there, but she had like Watch the Game of Thrones.
Miracle on 34th Street.
Miracle on 34th Street.
Alien.
Forgive Dave, whoever
Alien.
that
Yep.
is.
So I think maybe a lot of it was coming out of her
Could be.
memory.
All right, I want to talk about the fact that we, in 2 sentences, got huge resolution from this past
Yes.
season with
I lied.
she did lie, not Molly.
No, I did not lie.
Molly,
You
you're
know,
in
like-
punishment.
But
You're in punishment for saying I'm in punishment.
That's-
When I'm not in
It's like
punishment.
Inception. Now we're just spinning around, and I'm in a dream of punishment.
but the doctor found out
Weird.
that Danny Pink was dead, and he really didn't know.
yeah,
And
that's how it was left in the last episode. He truly had no idea that Danny Pink was dead.
And she said, I lied because I wanted you to go to Gallifrey and not be stuck here trying to take care of me because he died. And then he says, well, I lied about finding Gallifrey because I didn't want you to come with me. I wanted you to stay with him and be happy. And I cried a lot. And then there were a couple of them where I cried.
Oh, there
the
were some
end
feels
in the
in this one for
sleigh.
you.
Oh my gosh, cried. Yeah, when she was hugging him. And I loved when he said, I'm only holding her hand.
Yeah, we
And-
was only holding Clara's hand.
I will only hold Clara's hand.
No.
The other person's like, come on, and they held hands.
I have another big
Yeah.
feels moment for you. I know one that got you.
Okay.
When old Clara said, well, there was another,
Yeah.
but he was an impossible man.
Yeah.
Oh, I got chills. Yep. You know what?
Yes.
If Chris had been paying attention, he would have been crying right there because he's a big baby. When old Clara said, there was another one, but he was an impossible man, big tears. Yep, see? I knew it, but I got chills just saying it twice.
Yes.
I got them. Now we're going to talk about the end of E.T., and you're going to really see me cry because brutal.
Now we're going to talk about E.T.
No.
Oh, he's going to sob.
Was there an E.T. reference in this?
No.
No, I'm not done with my
Oh, okay.
point.
I'm sorry. ADD, kick it in.
What?
So
The shiny object.
what I loved about this was this season for me, I love Peter Capaldi. I had a little trouble with Clara, even though I love her and she's back. I'm so glad she's back. But
Yeah, she was
there
totally
so much
Clara in this
conflict
episode.
In this season, and then it was left so unresolved. And the fact that they could wrap it up in 2 sentences blew me away. And it really, they were so in sync in this episode.
Totally.
And it's made me so excited for next season.
Yes.
And for them to be together and working together and happy and
Well, there was another thing that I noticed in what you're talking about that I didn't notice the first time watching it, but tonight it was like hit me in the face. When she's old.
that was me. Sorry.
That would be you. It was cat butts. We have cats, and they're always putting their butts on us. Cat butt in the face.
That was a little more information than anyone
You know what?
needed.
I like to share.
That was weird.
But
At least
the
you didn't say it was your butt.
yeah, not kid butt in the face.
Yeah.
Gross. When she was old Clara.
Bless you.
Got one more? There we
Okay,
go.
You know, you just ruined the podcast.
Trying to just upstage everybody with the sneezes. When she was old Clara, and he was so kind to her, and he was like, "We shouldn't have. I shouldn't have missed all these." And she says the thing about, "Well, every Christmas is last Christmas," and he says, "We got to do this every year." And you kind of had that feeling like, yeah, this might be her last Christmas. Like it had that. When all that was happening, and then you saw the thing where she comes back and he puts a crown on. He's like, "I can't tell if you're old or young." I all of a sudden started thinking about the very first episode with Capaldi when
That
she
was
first
funny.
meets him.
Wait, that was funny when he said, I can't tell if you're old or young, because he was being all mean to her. Like, I can't tell it.
No, that was when he had to bring her the mirror because she
Yes,
says,
'cause he didn't know.
Well, no, but he's so mean to her all the time that he
Right.
always was like, I can't tell the difference. You know,
Right.
I don't know what you look like, you know. But because he never has anything nice to say about her.
Right. That was funny. Well, so I went back to the first episode, though. It was when we were watching this the second time that I flashed back to the first episode, and she was having such a hard time with him because he was older.
Yeah.
And now we see she's older. He's younger than her.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of put all of that aside.
Yeah,
Just
it
like the
shifted the
lie thing
balance.
all went aside. Now the age thing is gone. No big deal on any of that.
Yes.
I thought that was a really excellent way of handling all of it. Now, I was listening. We call it our Uncle Podcast. We have another Doctor Who podcast in our network called Next Stop Everywhere. Charles and Jesse, big shout out to those guys. They're awesome. They actually, during this time between seasons, they're going back and doing past episodes. Like they did Pyramids of Mars, which is a great episode, Spearhead from Space. And it's so fun to listen to them talk about the Third Doctor and the Tom Baker years. Anyway, they did this episode, and when they were doing it, one of the things they talked about was, there were a lot of rumors about this being it for Clara. And I think it was Charles said that, how that ending where she's old and that whole thing, and then he goes back and he wakes up and she's young? He said that he had read that was tacked on. That originally they wrote it, that was how Clara was going to end. She was going to be old,
would've been
say,
bad. That would've
we'll do
been
this every
really
year,
bad.
and that's last Christmas. Oh my gosh. That would have been crushing.
Yeah.
But then they did this other thing because she's signed to come back for the 9th season. So, and I'm glad because she was old Clara.
She
again.
was awesome
Or-
in this.
Not old Clara. She was
She
young
was,
Old
she
Clara.
was our
Young Clara.
familiar
Uh-oh.
Clara.
Doctor Who's on first.
The
I
Clara
fell back
we
into that
love.
hole.
I was just glad she's back.
I was too.
And that they were together and not not opposite.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. I thought it was very cool how they wrapped all that up. Santa. Now, Santa was a really interesting
Santa's
character.
well, first of all,
It's Nick Frost.
hello. I mean,
You want to laugh at that?
Ha ha.
There we go. Nick Frost, we're big Nick Frost fans. So now both guys from Shaun of the Dead have been on Doctor Who. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost have both been on. I was really watching the elves thinking that one of them was going to be Simon Pegg. That would have been, I think, too much. I think I would have been so distracted that it was Simon Pegg. But he was great as Santa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he did his mannerisms in that. He was a little bit Ricky Gervais the way he did it. There were times I kept thinking, this could almost be Ricky Gervais in this role. So it's kind of cool that you see that level of who these guys are that they get. So I don't know if that made any
That
sense.
made
It made perfect
no
sense to me.
sense
Coffee
at all.
It made sense to me.
Okay.
I thought it when I was watching it.
I am glad that made sense to you.
Maybe the
That's
coffee's
right.
ruining your mind.
It could be. It could be.
That's possible.
So Santa had, in my opinion, the greatest intro ever of any character on any show. When he was riding on the reindeer and looked like the Lone Ranger, he's on Rudolph, that was just...
With the storm of slinkies and robots.
The robots, the
And
slinkies.
And the tangerine.
Yeah, the tangerine
Rolling
came
in,
rolling in, yeah. And then he's on Rudolph and he bucks Rudolph back. That was
And
fantastic.
then he beeps Rudolph. Beep, beep.
Oh, that's right, I forgot that.
Like his car alarm. Yeah,
Yeah.
he set the car alarm.
Yeah, so to me, that was one of the best moments. Although I really enjoyed how they kept doing the dream within a dream
Yeah.
within a dream.
Within like 10 dreams.
Yeah,
it's
and,
like-
and it once again, it was on that second watching that it was so obvious.
Yeah. And it looked like when he came to with the claw thing on his face outside of the TARDIS, looked like that volcano
Yes.
where
It did.
Clara was throwing all the keys off the edge.
Well, wait, that was in the last year's final, right? Not the final. The final when, or was it in Day of the Doctor? The one where No, it was in.
No, it was in the last
I
season.
can't remember. It was in the Danny Pink one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she had him at
She
the
was
volcano and she
throwing
threw all the
yes,
keys
it
in.
looked just like that. Where
Yeah.
he was laying.
I had a little time slip there. But yeah, it looked like that volcano. Now, why do you think that was? Does anyone have any theories on that? Because if he was in that same volcano place, does that mean that he was attacked by this thing at that point?
No.
That can't be, right? Because Danny Pink is definitely dead, right? They're not going to make that all a dream within a dream and have him wake up and her wake up and then all of a sudden Danny's alive, right? That'd
No.
be terrible.
I mean, it could be that it's where they were at their furthest apart.
Oh.
You know, like maybe that was the point where he was most afraid of losing her or something.
But why was
or-
he there? Why was he in that volcano area?
I just said.
She just said.
What do you mean, why?
But why would it be their furthest apart? Because she was there. Although, did she?
No, emotionally.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I knew Chris would understand
You know
me.
what?
He's over there crying.
When we start
about
talking
it.
emotional,
Yeah.
I'm not the best
He's very
at that,
li-
except
yeah.
when we talk about the end of E.T. And It's a Wonderful Life. That one makes me cry, too.
Okay, there's a,
And now Clara saying you're impossible. Kind of.
and Santa at one point does a throwback to David Tennant because he says he
Did
says
I catch this one? What is it?
yeah, well you wrote it.
this is so
I wrote it.
Unless she made it up, but it's a
He did
Santa
not make it
said,
up.
as the doctor might say, it's all dreamy weemy.
Oh, yeah. That was
Yeah.
good.
It's all about dreamy weemy.
Yeah, and also she
I
called.
love when they throw back to the other doctors.
There was another little moment of that was Shona.
Whatever.
How do we
We'll
say
just-
this woman's name? Does anyone know?
Shona.
Show
We'll go with-
Let's just call her Show.
Show.
Show
All right. So Show said
Faux
called
show.
Santa, called Santa Beardy Weirdy.
Yes.
And when she said that, I was like, oh, it's David Tennant. And then when the timey wimey, that was really good. I wrote that. That's good. I didn't
You
know.
did. Thanks.
What else
Thank
did I write
you
in
for
here?
taking notes because
I don't know, but it's a long story. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think that's
We're in
going to
a
be
dream again.
That's going to mean something very different to me every time now that I hear that.
That it's a long
I'm
story.
going to always think about this episode. and just be like, oh, it's a long story. Oh, that's a Doctor Who.
Yeah,
All right.
that was great. Now, do you guys have anything else you want to talk about with
I have some trivia,
this?
so let's wrap this up.
What, do you have anything more you want to say about this episode?
Nope.
You're just happy that they're back together and
Yeah.
awesome.
What
So
did you
am I.
think of it overall?
I liked it a lot.
Did you like it better than the other ones you've seen?
No.
About,
No.
about equal? I liked it better than
Where did it
any.
fall for the
I
Christmas
love it.
specials? You've seen a lot of the Christmas
I
specials
like
now.
the Matt Smith ones better.
Oh.
I like the last Matt Smith one better.
Okay,
the last
why?
Matt Smith.
Huh?
Why? Because it's Matt Smith, or did you like the story better, or did you?
He's my favorite character, and he's my favorite character, and I like the story.
Okay.
It's got a good
Now, wait.
beat, and I can dance to
Now,
it.
Molly, the last Matt Smith Christmas was the one where he regenerated. Is that the
Uh-huh.
one you're talking about when
Yeah.
he went to Christmas?
Yeah.
Was it A Town Called Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
See,
really good.
I like
Remember
this one better.
It had the wooden Cyberman in that one.
Oh yeah.
Yes, wooden
That's-
Cyberman
We're
rocks.
gonna whittle one and put one in your bedroom for you. How would you like that?
At night.
Yeah.
At night.
Yeah.
Only at night.
And I'm gonna hang some of those dream claws from the ceiling. Would you
the,
mind that?
the Dream Crabs.
Oh, that was it.
Dream
I like
claws.
That sounds frightening.
Santa Claus. Yeah. Dream crab. Would you like
Dream
those
crabs.
in your room?
No.
In fact, what was the name? Calicrapley's. We'll go with that.
I don't think it was crab in there.
Calicrapley's. Okay, so
All right.
all right. So that's it. Does anyone else have any final thoughts on the Christmas episode that they want to share? Anybody?
How about who here that saw it? Did you like it?
Yeah,
Did
let's
you
hear.
Show of hands.
Show of hands.
or
Did you like the episode? Was it a
applause
winner?
If you liked it.
And who
Okay.
didn't like it?
Anyone who saw it that went you kind of
Don't be afraid. You won't be lynched. Oh, no, that's okay.
Their relationship had so much conflict in it that I was almost ready to see her go.
Now, didn't you feel that this episode had resolution to that, though? Because I found it to be a breath of fresh air at the end.
Yeah, so now I'm excited about this next season.
That absolutely.
There was resolution, but until this,
It was a little rocky.
yeah, I'm ready because I want to see a dynamic, positive relationship with Dr.
I agree with you, and that's why when I came into this one, I was like, I cried the whole time because I was like, oh my gosh, they're back, and that's all I wanted was for them to want to be together and have fun and do their thing and not always be in conflict. And so this episode for me really
Yeah,
gave me that
Yeah,
resolution.
no, it'd be
as well.
cool
What would be cool?
if you know how when Matt Smith and David Tennant and the War Doctor got together.
Yes.
It would be cool if Matt Smith, David Tennant, and this Doctor.
Oh,
Got together.
please. And then Tom Baker shows up. And actually, all of them show up. Please make it happen. With Peter Capaldi? Well, it did at the end, yes. Well, they weren't all together. You just saw the angry eyebrows, and it showed them all in separate things. But yes.
But
Day of the
interacting
Doctor, right?
together, yeah.
Yeah. That was cool. Oh, yeah.
All right, let's do some trivia.
Let's do some trivia. All right.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
so that
I'll
ends
read your
Last
handwriting.
Christmas.
My
I'll
handwriting. I'll do
try.
it. It's okay. That's
Oh,
okay.
please, I'll try.
All right, Molly's going to read
There's
the trivia.
no way you're going to be able to read that. Okay, don't read the answer.
Okay. Which story did the first Doctor regenerate?
Yeah, in which story did the first Doctor regenerate? And they don't mean the first
We're
Doctor
going
like
back to-
the first Doctor. They mean the first time a Doctor regenerated. Does anyone know the name of that episode?
We're going back big time. Right. Do you know?
The 10th planet.
The 10th Planet was the name of the episode.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
So if
that's
you
right.
wanna-
And Patrick Troughton is
Hang
the
on,
one
don't do it.
that was the Robin Hood. He was the second Doctor, right? Yes. So, for those of you that don't know, people that listen to the podcast have probably heard this, but in the Robin Hood episode, there's a thing where they're flashing through and they're showing the different Robin Hoods at one point, and he's trying to prove that Robin Hood is fictitious, right? And we're watching it, And Molly goes, "Oh, that's
Well, wait, they were showing it on the computer.
yeah,
His-
showing it on a computer, but it's just like
in the
flashing."
TARDIS, his
and
computer
Molly,
screen.
one of the Robin Hoods, Molly says, "Who did you say it was at first?"
I thought it was the master, but then I looked in my character encyclopedia, and it was the salamander and the second doctor.
Yeah, she picks it out. She's like, "No, it's even better than that."
It's-
She
it's
says
crazy.
it's the master, and we're like, "No, it's not the master." We denied her on this. So then, like a couple days later,
I
she's
kept on
supposed to
looking
be
and
in
looking
bed,
and looking.
and we're downstairs watching something, and she comes down and says, "It's not the master, it's the salamander," and we're like, "What?"
And he doesn't look anything like Robin Hood, so we had to go
So
to the
she
episode and
gives me-
freeze it.
She gives me the book, and I'm looking at it,
But
and I'm
she
like,
says,
"Okay, there's the salamander."
Do you see the lines on his face? And look at his eyes. It's that guy. I said,
Look at his
oh,
hair.
come
So
on.
here's
So I
what's
make
crazy.
him Google it, and he finds
So I
the
look
exact
up.
image.
I look up Sherlock Holmes BBC. I'm
Not
thinking
Sherlock
It's
Holmes.
got it. No, not Sherlock Holmes.
Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Robin Hood.
At first, I looked up Sherlock Holmes. I was completely off base.
And
Then I looked up Robin Hood, and here's what's crazy: Patrick Troughton played Robin Hood in a 6-episode Robin Hood special on the BBC in like 1962 or something. And she spotted.
and they
the
used
only
that
the picture
picture.
they had was the picture that was on there. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah,
She's
pretty
kinda
amazing.
Funny. She likes her
So,
details.
did you know that was his son that was playing the scientist, the one that was eating the turkey leg? What was up with the
If
turkey
you
leg?
care about Doctor Who at all, you would have known.
Yeah,
you would have
really.
recognized
Fail.
that was
Oh.
his son.
The turkey leg.
That's it. This show is over.
The guy. Wait.
Okay, let me go on to the next one.
Why was he eating a turkey leg?
Because it was Christmas.
You think that's all it was?
He was hungry.
Did anyone else want a turkey leg while they were watching it? I wanted a turkey leg.
I did not, because those are dry.
You don't like
Yeah,
I'm
but
not a fan.
no, you put them in barbecue sauce and they're awesome.
turkey legs.
Turkey leg with barbecue sauce, but it's got those weird bones, but who cares?
I
They're
love
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, turkey legs are good.
Has
Yeah, that's
anyone
right.
here seen the 20th
2-1.
anniversary movie? Okay, this one's for you.
Now wait, 20th anniversary.
Oh, Miles claims he's seen it.
Is that key to time? Or did I just ruin the,
You know
the
what?
question?
How about you let me ask the question?
Okay.
Which of the 5 doctors in the 20th anniversary movie called The 5 Doctors
Oh, it's the 5 Doctors.
Shut was not played by their original actor. So there were 5 doctors
well,
in the 5 doctors.
Which doctor is not the original doctor?
This question is not for anyone on the panel. Okay. If anyone in the audience would like to answer, Rob's going to be quiet. Which of the 5 doctors in the 20th anniversary movie, The 5 Doctors, was not played by their original actor?
Anybody?
You're going to wait? Okay.
Can I just tell you why?
I am going to hit you with my microphone. You don't? Okay.
Let me do.
Let's see. Doctor Who's been on for 51 years. If it was the 20th, I don't know if you were alive when that.
And why?
Yeah, I'm just teasing.
He had died.
I always tease gingers.
Yeah. So, the first doctor, the one doctor, William Hartnell, had passed away in 1975, so
Right.
he was not in. He was
That's
played by
why
a
he
different
wasn't in it,
actor.
because he was the one that was dead.
Okay.
They used footage of it.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
They didn't. Yeah. But that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which doctor didn't battle the Cybermen in any of his episodes?
Ooh, that's a good question. Itzy says the ninth. Izzy. I'm going to get it wrong. Izzy, right?
Okay.
Uh-oh. We have the big Dr.
Okay,
Who
Finn,
brain
go
sitting
ahead.
at that table.
Nope. Nope.
You know what? There's only so many, so somebody's going to guess it right. It's not the first.
It's the third.
Oh.
Number 3 did not battle any Cybermen in any of his episodes. Okay.
I wonder why.
Are the Daleks robots?
No. Nope. No.
Okay. What are they?
Aliens.
What are they?
Actually, they're aliens and they're living inside of what you currently see.
It's like a Dalek exoskeleton, right? They're Transformers? Sweet.
No, they're
They're
not.
Sweet. One is Bumblebee.
they look like robots, but the
But they're in
outside
disguise. I got it.
the outside design is a survival chamber and a battle tank. And the inside there's a mutant
And a plunger.
and a plunger. There's a plunger
whisk.
involved, yeah. There would be too if you or I
How
were.
awesome was it
or,
when
you know,
when they relaunched everything and the first time he encountered the Daleks and he's like, they can't go upstairs. That was fantastic.
Okay, last one. Has the TARDIS
It didn't do that sound effect, by the way. Yep.
Hey, I feel sorry for whoever has to do this up here with him next.
Yep. Coming up next.
Alil, I'm looking in your general direction. Has the TARDIS ever changed into anything other than the police box?
Yeah.
There was that one time in Oregon and multiple other things in that same episode.
Yes.
Circus malfunction.
Okay, can anyone tell me the episode?
It was with Sixth Doctor, right?
I don't have that much information.
She's literally asking, can somebody
It's called-
please tell us?
No, it's called Attack of the Cybermen. And the Doctor briefly fixed the chameleon circuit, and the TARDIS changed into a cabinet, an organ, and a gateway. I'm not sure they mean gateway computer here. I don't know what gateway means, but maybe like a portal or something. So there you go. It's a gateway.
A gate in front of a way.
Yes. All right, that's it. I don't know where he went.
He went to talk to somebody.
Oh, wow, he's wearing all the hats today.
That's right. I have to cover my bald spot.
Yeah.
It's not working. Who said that one?
Oh, that
was awesome.
That was from his mother.
Now
Oh.
you know where I get it from. We always thought it was my dad. So is that it for your trivia
Yeah,
questions?
we're all good.
Awesome. Well, that's it. Shall we wrap it up?
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to Cuckoo for Who. You can find, I'm going to go through some of our stuff because we never get to do this. You can find our past episodes on our website, which is,
www.southgatemediagroup.com.
yeah, we also have a Twitter feed, which is at Cuckoo for Who. It's the number 4. We never use that one. I mean, we use it, but I never give that one out. So it's Cuckoo for Who. Yeah, because we're street. That's what that means. We also have, what else? We have Tumblr. We have all sorts of social media, Facebook. Find us on all this. Join our email list, and you can do that right from our website as well. And I think that's it. Shall we end this?
Alonzi!